welcome to The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on everything Independence Pro Wrestling. I am the voice of IPW, J-Rod. Warzone is one of our best events of the year, and this one started with a huge surprise, the return of Jamal King. King announced that he has re-signed with IPW. Then he surprisingly gave the respect to Chad Alpha, and despite the fact that Alpha did not pin or submit King, Alpha did beat him. King said that he's ready to start at the end of the line and work his way back up. Dr. Nolan's ears must have been ringing because Nolan's came to the ring to let King know that King is nowhere near ready for a rematch with Alpha. The two went back and forth until they decided to settle things the old-fashioned way. What a treat to see two of IPW's best going at it in an impromptu matchup to kick off Warzone. This match offered a rare low risk and high reward. The eventual winner, Jamal King, just beat a top contender on a big win streak. And the eventual loser, Dr. Nolan's, doesn't drop in the rankings at all, having lost to the former world champion. Should one of them dethrone Alpha, it wouldn't be a surprise to see a rematch for the IPW crown. The fans were excited to see King return with a brand new humble attitude. Will this win be enough for Chad Alpha to grant King a rematch? Big Jorge was originally scheduled for a three-way that he asked for against Invictus and Dragon Jones. But Jorge must have gotten cold feet as he went to management and begged for a tune-up match first. He got a little more than he asked for in a debuting Nick Cobain. Cobain was impressive, an explosive speedball, and Jorge had a tough time with him. Eventually, Jorge's experience gave him the edge, and he hit what appeared to be an evolved form of his gangsta lean for the victory. After the match, Big Jorge was talking mad shit about Invictus and Dragon Jones. Jones heard enough and came to the ring to get in some shots on Jorge. After Jorge took his licks, he retreated to the back. Unless Big Jorge comes up with some other bullshit excuse, we should see this triple threat match on Sunday at PowerPlay. The IPW Cyber Champion, the Honey Badger, Lil Missy, was ready to defend her title. The challenger would be the Colonel of Clapping Cheeks, LaDon Sanders. Now with his normal antics that made him a fan favorite for half a decade here in IPW, Sanders was pissed off about something. Sanders grabbed the microphone and said he was fed up with almost becoming champion, getting plenty of title matches, but losing them all and being a laughingstock in IPW. LaDon Sanders flipped everything around for himself as he put a vicious beating on Lil Missy and took the Cyber Championship from her in dominant fashion. While Sanders may have let all the fans down, he got what he came for, as he is our new IPW Cyber Champion. In a six-man mishmash tag team match, Darling Roger teamed up with Jarvis Gray and Dragon Jones to take on the team of Dante Quezon, Dante Xavier, and Midwest Misfits member Amadeus Ramirez. Dragon Jones was on his way to a win for his team, but was taken out of action by an interfering Big Jorge. But it was of no consequence, as the White Wolf hit the twist of fate for the win. Durag has had some type of issue with Jimmy Shalwin for a few months now. Durag confronted Mondo Real backstage, and Mondo was having none of it. Mondo challenged Durag to a match, and Durag told Mondo that it's nice of Mondo to have Shalwin's back, because Shalwin wouldn't do the same for Mondo. Mondo was able to keep his streak alive after winning the tag team titles a few weeks ago with a win over Durag. But we have to wonder what the hell Durag meant when he said Shalwin wouldn't have Mondo's back. Terry Van Avery is officially a licensed referee. Van Avery clearly had no interest in reffing this evening though, as referees Chris and Dave were in charge the entire night. But Van Avery was still required to show up dressed for the job. Terry came to the ring to say that it's time for a rematch between him and Michiana champion Josh Raymond. The fans were all for it, but Brutus Dillon was not. The Midwest Monster came to the ring to tell Van Avery that everyone was sick of his pity party. Brutus Dillon absolutely gave it to Terry and told him that if he was going to just complain every time something bad happened to him, he didn't even belong in the locker room. Dillon told Van Avery to referee the next match between Dillon and Anderson Knight, then gave a stern warning to Terry that if he screws up in any way, Brutus Dillon would beat the shit out of him. Van Avery tried to call it down the middle, but we know he had a hot head. Brutus Dillon continuously berated Van Avery throughout the match, up until Anderson Knight hit the patented spine buster. Van Avery then mocked Dillon. That is until Dillon snatched him by the throat. Instead of calling for the DQ, Terry Van Avery super kicked Brutus Dillon right into the nightcap submission of Anderson Knight. Brutus Dillon was knocked out cold, and Terry called for the bell, making Anderson Knight the winner by technical submission. Brutus Dillon made good on his promise to Terry, though. Dillon grabbed a chair and absolutely smashed Terry with it, particularly to the back and rib area that we know Terry has had some issues with in the past. Terry Van Avery has reached out to management and told them, quote, "This means war." The two will go one-on-one this Sunday at PowerPlay. As for Anderson Knight, he is moving into the biggest match of his career at PowerPlay as he faces former IPW champion Zico. Zico has already made it clear that if he stops the freight train that has been Anderson Knight, he wants a shot at Chad Alpha. In our main event of the evening, the long-awaited title match between #1 contender Mackenzie Black and IPW's women's champion Stella Buho. Black won her shot months ago with an upset of former champion Kitty LaFleur, and Buho has been on fire since winning the title back at War on the Shore. It's been said that upsets occur when the favorite finds themselves in a match that is more difficult than what they expected, and that may be what happened here as Mackenzie Black shocked the world and became the new IPW Women's Champion. As Black was taking her victory lap, she was cut off by Lil Missy, who clearly wants next. That concludes this edition of The Insider. Join us on Sunday, October 6th at Patterson Ice Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan as IPW presents PowerPlay.